The time has arrived. Thanks to us messing with this time device, it is now time to go into Zarok's lair and put the smackdown on him, Daniel Fortesque style. Alright, so we get here on the train. Funny it doesn't play the scene of the train like it did in the original, but here we are in front of his lair.
We never thought you'd get this far. Your final encounter with Zarok awaits beyond this point. He has surrounded himself with his unnatural bodyguards, but you may yet even the odds by calling upon the lost souls collected within your chalice. Place the chalice on the shield at the heart of the arena. Good luck, Sir Daniel Fortesque.
Alright, well he said it. So this chest will contain a silver shield, but of course we don't really need that. We don't need this Fountain of Rejuvenation, and we don't need the Merchant Gargoyle, so we're pretty much good to go. Let's step inside. And like the gargoyle said, we gotta place the chalice in the very center of the arena, like so.
Sir Fortesque, my old nemesis, so we meet again. I see that a century spent as worm food has done nothing to diminish your naive obsession with the freedom of Galonia. Prepare to attack, my warriors. I want the dogs gnawing marrow from those bones within the hour. Ah! What is that, Fortesque? Your lucky cup?
Okay, so the first part here, I got to have my men attack Zarok's men. So what I got to do here is I got to keep my men alive by sacrificing my health to keep them on the battlefield. It's going to take up a couple of health, so got to make sure they stay in check here. Have to really keep an eye on them, so hopefully I can keep them all alive. We did it!
You always were fortunate in battle, Fortesque. Let us see how you fare against my champion, the late Lord Zarok. He eats people like you as calcium supplement.
Alright, here comes the second part. Lord Zarok. So, depending on how many soul warriors that end up surviving the fight, you'll have energy vials left remaining. So, we saved all of them, so we got all of the energy vials that we could use. And these stupid axe-throwing enemies, get out of here. I need to get close to them. And just wail away at them. I'm going to see if I can at least hold on to the energy vials just in case. Ha! You missed me. You missed me. Alright, here he comes. So it may take a little bit to, you know, just keep wailing at him. Oh, shockwaves. Oh, okay, so he looks like he can only take a couple of damage for like a phase or something, and then after that he'll do that little shockwave. Yeah, and he's got a little barrier too. Ah, the eyes with the wings. Get out of here. I gotta get my magic arrow back out. Magic longbow, I should say. Okay, the little shockwave again. Then more of his pals will come in. So, a lot of enemies here. Okay, gotta finish him. There he goes.
Bugger. Right then, that's it. I've just about had enough of your meddling. Where is that spell? Ah, yes. No, not that spell. Oh. Oh, not right now. Aha! Now I have it. None shall defeat the mighty Zarok. So prepare to die, Fortesque.
Alright, here comes the final boss of the game, Zarok. So he's this little lizard, this lizard-like creature, thanks to that spell he used. Who's still got a bit of a chicken spell on him, too. Okay, so he's gonna kind of just move around here. I need to really get him in a good time. Okay, so it looks like he'll just stand still for a little while. That's when I'll have the chance to attack him. Ah. I mean, sure, it looks like I'll be using a couple life bottles, but it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Gotta get pretty close to him pretty fast. See, look how much damage I'm doing to him. He's already down past half health. Just like that. Alright, not much now. Just one more bit of attacks and he'll go down. Okay, so he's got this little lightning attack standing in the center. Let's finish him. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to wait until he goes back down. Ah, stupid. That's okay. Come down here. Or I'd have to use a ranged weapon. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like I have to use my ranged weapon. Thank goodness I got the magic longbow, which does the job. Finish him!
Curse you, Sir Knight. I am finally defeated. Yet if I am to fail, then all shall perish. You are doomed, Fortesque. You will never leave this domain.
And so ends the reign of Zarok. And the people of Galamir have been saved, and Sir Daniel Fortesque has earned his rightful place in the Hall of Heroes. Ah, it's nice to be reliving this game once again. It's nice to be reliving these games that were remastered recently. The Crash games, the Spyro trilogy. Ah, and now this. I can't wait. It makes me just want to keep reliving the classics again. It makes me wonder what else they're gonna plan on remastering. Taking a classic and then remastering it. I mean, I know of course there's gonna be Final Fantasy VII, but man, it's gonna be a long time. But you know what? That final boss stage isn't really all that difficult. If you've got the magic sword and the magic longbow, it's pretty much a cakewalk, as you saw right there. Because whenever, Zarok is still, and you just wail on him with the magic sword. Same with Lord Cardok. Wail on him with a magic sword, and they're going to take a lot of damage. And the magic longbow isn't that bad of a weapon either, so it's totally worth getting all those other weapons. It's actually really cool. Whenever you get all the chalices, and I believe that's how you get that ending with Daniel being in the Hall of Heroes. If you get all the chalices, that's when Fortesque will feast and drink with the other heroes, which is pretty cool. I'm always wondering how he was able to drink up that stuff in that chalice without the use of his bottom jaw. I wonder if it just went down his, got through his skeleton and went down his body or something like that. But it looked like it all just fell down, and everyone was like, he drank it anyway. Let's just go ahead and celebrate. But yeah, if you guys have not played this game yet, go get it. Classic and remaster. Or, hey, why not both? Why not relive this game in both worlds? The classic version and the remastered version. Chuck Dowd. That's a composer. That's a name I'm familiar with. I've always did like his music work throughout the games that he did. Except I haven't really played that many of the games. I think the only games that I played with his work were the Siphon Filter games and Blasto. I've only played a little bit of Blasto. I mean, because that's just like a comedy cartoon greatness of a game. I mean, it's got Phil Hartman doing the voice for Captain Blasto. And, of course, Chuck Dowd's music work, which is pretty good. It's pretty good stuff with all the games that he's worked with. So it's actually pretty cool seeing a classic name. Like, say, you take the Crash games, you see... like, if you go back to the classics, and if you go to Crash Bandicoot, you see, like, Mark Cerny and Jason Rubin. Those are the names that were, like... Well, Mark Cerny is, like, a big name in terms of all video games. Because he's, like, a mastermind in terms of making, video games. I mean, he played a big part in terms of the first 3 Crash games and the first 3 Spyro games. So, he's, like, a complete mastermind with those games. Jason Rubin, of course... being one of the leaders in terms of Naughty Dog at the time with the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, with the Crash Bandicoot games, the Naughty Dog Crash Bandicoot games, Crash 1, 2, 3, and Team Racing. And then moving on to Jak and Daxter. And then, of course, Mark Cerny, also getting involved with the Spyro trilogy. And a big name as a composer who is, of course, a world-famous musician, known for his drumming for the Police, Mr. Stuart Copeland. Badass drummer, badass video game composer. Well, badass composer. So, these are quite memorable names throughout all of video game history, I think. As well as Chuck Dowd, I think is an underrated video game composer. Especially with his work in the other games I've mentioned. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just so nice to be reliving the classics being redone, and I really, really hope that they keep remaking the classics. Like, I mentioned that I want to see Tomba redone, or maybe like one of the classic Digimon games redone. Well, I guess you could say Digimon World Next Order was basically like a reamped version of Digimon World 1. But, like, take the classic and just, remaster it. And, there's gotta be, like, a couple of other games that I want to see remastered, but I just can't really think of them. I mean, of course we're getting Final Fantasy VII. That I can't wait for. I'm ready for that. Because I've been going on a little bit of a Final Fantasy binge as of late, because I've been going through Final Fantasy IX, which I'm a little over halfway done with that game. And then I plan on going through Final Fantasy VIII. So I want to at least get prepared for Final Fantasy VII Remaster. Because I just recently got both of those games for the PS4. Now, I recently picked up 13 and 13 too, and I've always wanted to give those two a try. So, I've been kind of a bit of a Final Fantasy binge as of late. But, man, there's just like a couple of other games that I thought I remembered what I want to see remastered, but they just kind of left my head right now. But definitely Tomba and like a classic Digimon game I want to see remastered, but it's a rare chance I know to see one of those games be remastered. I mean, but hey, you may never know. I honestly thought this game was a bit of well, of course, this game's not as big as Crash and Spyro, that's obvious, but it's a pretty interesting choice that they decided to remaster MediEvil. But hey, I'm glad they did, because this game's great. And the remaster is great. So, there's just... I mean, the possibilities just seem endless right now. To my mind. So, I honestly can't say if they're gonna... which one they're gonna do next. But, of course, like the remastered versions of Crash and Spyro, these credits are long. Oh! Man. But hey, at least we're not completely done with this game. I did mention that about the Lost Souls that we got, the first one in the entrance hall and the second one being in the time machine. I will record myself doing those Lost Soul challenges. I just gotta look, well, as a matter of fact, I could just, I was gonna go ahead and look them up, at least know where we're supposed to go, and how to complete them. But just in case some people actually happen to struggle with them. I mean, you may never know, but anyway, I will still record myself doing those Lost Souls. I will definitely do that. But yeah, I really enjoyed coming back into this game. It's just such a good time. Rest in peace, Mr. Paul Darrow. Rest in peace. What an ender to the credits right there. What an ender. Alright, so, like I said, we're not completely done with MediEvil yet, but I've always wanted to know, what other games do you guys want to see be remastered? Like I pointed out, I'd like to see Tomba and some of the classic Digimon games remastered. For the time being, I had some other choices, but they're just kind of left my head at the moment. So, what games do you guys want to see be remastered? Please let me know. So I'd like to see who would like to see that. So, like I said, I'll definitely do those Lost Souls, and I will see you guys when we do those.